Hey there, in this video I'm going to be breaking down exactly how we built an AI agent that acts as a customer service rep. So much so to the point that they no longer had to employ any full-time customer service employees. They could simply focus on the high-level tickets and the big issues at hand, and the agent, or the bot, whatever you want to call it, essentially handled 100% of the work, from frequently asked questions to troubleshooting to complex technical solutions. And so what I want to do is I want to show you exactly how he did this so that you can do it for your business too. Because if you have a business that deals with customers, probably you do if you do have a business, this is going to be important for you because I'm sure you're getting customer support tickets, you're having to respond to emails, maybe you are live support on a chatbot, and if you're hiring people to do this, it costs a lot of money. But the problem is, if you're going to use AI, you have to be beyond sure that AI is going to be able to take care and tackle the questions and the frequently asked questions and the objections, whatever it is that might be getting thrown at it. And this system is exactly how we do so. Okay, so this video, like I was saying, we're going to be talking about building AI agent for customer service and quick, accurate responses, but it's important that it's on par with human level intelligence. But let's just quickly break down how this works, right? So we want the agent's response to be very conversational because we don't want it to feel like they're talking to a robot. How many times have you gotten on a call, or not a call, but how many times have you reached out to a business and it just feels like you're talking to a robot and you're all caps lock saying, speak to a human, speak to a representative? That is the most frustrating thing in the world as a customer. It is the worst customer experience that you could possibly have. And so we want to avoid that at all costs. So for our scoring, we're going to classify. What we do is we have to test it. We have to classify the agent's responses. We have to classify it into three buckets. So true positive basically means that the answer is true and it's grounded in truth. False positive means the answer is in the neighborhood and in the ballpark, but it's not grounded in truth. So the reason it came up with that answer is not the right way, which means it probably can answer other questions incorrectly. And then false negative. So this is where it's not in the answer, but it is grounded in truth. Now, here's the thing. We want to calculate the similarity score on the agent's response to all ground truths. The ground truth is basically how we analyze, how accurate is this thing? How on point is it, if you will? And then what happens is the classification and the similarity score is averaged to give the final score. From there, a high score is going to indicate if the agent is accurate, and a low score is going to indicate that the agent has incorrect training data or it's not providing a comprehensive enough answer. This is where the customer comes in, speak to our representative. That's what we want to avoid. Okay, so this is the workflow, and I will dive into this in a minute, but I just want to zoom out for a second. If you're thinking about, even if you get one customer support chat a week, or you get 1,000 a day, it is so important to respond to that customer immediately, make them feel taken care of, making feel like you have 24/7 support, you're on it, you're there to support them. And that is why this is so valuable, because they're getting an immediate response, but it's not some, blanketed, like customer support 5 years ago was very much, it was a robot talking to you, but the answers were so stupid and not helpful. This is different. This is like you're speaking to a human. You guys have talked to ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever. You understand. So let's break down what this flow actually looks like. Let me just adjust my screen here so you can fully see it. Okay, so can you see that? Yep. All right, so first steps first, let me make that a little bit bigger for you. So the way that we set this up, we did this in N8N, as you're probably familiar. It's probably the best platform for building these agentic tools. So what we want to do is we want to set up our workflow to use the evaluation. So first things first, obviously, you have to get the data set. If you don't have data, you're not going to be able to respond. I think that's pretty straightforward, okay? Then we want to map the input, and this is triggered both from the data set and when a chat message is received. So we have the data set and we have the chat message, and it's sent to the AI agent, right? It's sent to our agent. And the chat model we decided to use was OpenAI. We used actually OpenAI o1 because it's an amazing model. And basically what this is going to do is this is going to provide logic. So this is the thinking. This is the reasoning. This is why reasoning models are so incredible for AI. It's because they can think deeply and they can evaluate things and they can parse large amounts of context and give really intelligent replies. Okay, From here, where do we go? Well, we go to, is that zoomed in enough for you? Just want to make sure that's really easy for you guys to see. So from there, what we want to do is basically the evaluation period. So we just want to just see, hey, is there anything we're missing here? Is there any other information that we need? And then if not, it goes to the no operation. Now, if the evaluation goes through, then we go to more of the input fields. Now, I'm not going to bore you with too much of the technicality of this setup. However, we need to make sure that we're grounding these answers in truth, right? So this is where the ground in truth comes in. There's two different ways that it can go. You can go to this embedding or this embedding. And based on the score that it gets in terms of how grounded in truth it is, depends which way that it sends it. But either way, it's a similar process where basically it's going to get the embeddings from OpenAI and it's going to remap the embeddings and then it's going to spit out and give a result. It's just a matter of what direction it takes to get that result. After it gets the embeddings result, it's basically going to calculate a similarity score. This is on one side of the equation. Now, the other thing that's happening simultaneously is the correctness classifier. So remember, we're finding our grounded truth and we're finding our correctness classifier. When the input fields are sent to the correctness classifier, it's doing a very similar thing that we did earlier, sending it to the OpenAI chat model, and then it is simply using the examples that we have and parsing it to just see, hey, how correct is this output? Then what you're going to see is it's going to calculate a score for the correctness, and it's also going to calculate a score for being grounded in truth. From there, it's going to merge these together. It's going to give it a correctness score. It's going to update the outputs. It's going to update the metrics. And then that response happens to the customer. Now, this all happens very quickly. If you've ever used reasoning models, you know that, you ask a question, it's thinking, it's parsing data, it's evaluating. This is kind of sort of what's going on under the hood. Obviously, it's context dependent on what the question is and what the data is that it's working with. But this is a good way to look at it. And so, what this allows us to do is take large data sets, large information about the company, and infuse a little bit of intelligence in there. And then all of these work in the background while the agent is thinking. And then it spits out an answer that feels human, that feels authentic, that feels real. And that makes the customer feel like, wow, these guys really know what they're doing. Okay. Like they really know what they're doing. And I just want to break this down a little bit more, just as an example for how this is working on the back end. So let's use this example. Whoops. Move me there. Input. So what powers the sun and what is its primary function? So there's going to be two different outputs. The sun is powered primarily by nuclear fusion occurring in its core. In this process, hydrogen nuclei fuse together to form helium, releasing a tremendous amount of energy in the form of light and heat. And then here's the second output. The sun's primary function is to provide energy to the solar system, supplying the light and heat necessary to sustain life on Earth and driving various processes such as weather, climate, and photosynthesis. Both of these are true, but what's the correctness? What's the answer that we need? So when we think about grounding this in truth, the sun is powered by nuclear fusion, where hydrogen atoms fuse to form helium. This process in the sun's core releases a tremendous amount of energy, and then so on and so forth. So, like I said, both of these are true. And if we're grounding them in truth, we're basically seeing this output, we're seeing the grounded truth, and then we're able to give a comprehensive answer to the customer. Okay. So think about the implications of this for a minute. Whether it is a software company that, someone asked a question on the website, whether it's a law firm, someone just got in an accident, they need a quick answer to know if this lawyer can help them. If it's a local business, there's basically no business that couldn't benefit from having an extremely adaptive, interactive customer support agent that is live 24/7, that's intelligent, that has access to all your data, that's going to give more intelligent responses than a person ever could. And this is just the beginning. I mean, I can't imagine how good this is going to be in 2 years from now, 5 years from now. But the point of the video is, if you have a business that deals with customer support at any sort of scale, you need some sort of agent. You need this customer support. And lucky for you, that's exactly what myself and my business does. We build custom AI solutions into business. So if you're curious about building a solution similar to this, or just want to learn more about how this works or what it could look like, or maybe you have a bottleneck in your business, book a call with me. The link's in the bio. And I'm happy to give you a free audit to help you understand where can AI fit into your business to free up time, to drive more revenue. The list goes on. Thanks for checking this out. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll be back with a lot more videos soon.